So here's this 95 2500. You guys have probably seen me post a little bit about it. I got it, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. I got burned on my last motor, so I wanted to buy something that runs and drives. So here she is. Well guys, I realized I have never really introduced the second gen, or really just how it kind of fits in. As you guys know, I had a 2002 2500 24 valve Cummins. I really did like that truck and I planned to keep it for a long time, but there was a few things that I felt like it was missing. I always wanted to P-pump swap it just because I love a P-pump. I wanted some compound turbos, wanted a 5-speed, I wanted a long bed, and most importantly, I wanted a crew cab truck. All that stuff, my 02 24 valve, it couldn't be without extensive modifications. So that's why I bought the OBS, and as you guys know, I'm going to come and swap it. But the second gen, where does that come into play? All right, so I bought a 12 valve from a kid out in Corona, and he said, yeah, as far as I know, it's good. Well, I'm sure you all have heard that song and dance enough to know that I had a bunch of missing parts and a locked up injection pump. So I could rebuild it. I could send off the injection pump and have it rebuilt, or I can cut my losses. It was like $2,600 plus, you know, about 4 hours of my time in gas. And, you know, it was a learning experience. But I said, fuck that. And I wanted to get a running, driving 12 valve to swap into my truck. So I got my 95 2500. It's a own stock 12 valve HX35 automatic truck, 2-wheel drive, no frills, single cab long bed. It's kind of beat up for sure. It's got 200 and I think it's around 250 or something, but it does leak a little bit of oil. There's no blow by to really tell. Even when it's hot, cold, don't matter. The trans shifts, that's what I can really say about it, and drives just fine. But what I want to do is, obviously that motor is going to go into my OBS, and I know it runs and drives, but am I going to put a stock 12 valve in my OBS? No. You guys already know how I do it. So the plan, have a bunch of good stuff sent over from Diesel Auto Power. I'm having some 5x13 injectors, some of their, I believe, 024 delivery valves, some 4K governor springs, some 60-pound valve springs, Torque Tech overflow fuel plate, and I don't know, a bunch of stuff. So we are going to really hop up that 2500. I really want to see what it can do. It's, like I said, it's completely stock minus the hood stack. So I did that because I've never had a hood stack. I've had a straight piped Cummins that was completely out the back. It was loud. I had a straight pipe 4-inch that was dumped after the axle. Loud, droney, annoying. I had a buddy who had a bed stack. It was kind of droney and annoying. And the only thing I haven't had is a hood stack. So there's a few trucks out there that I think just look badass with the hood stack, especially with the 12 valve, you know, the sound and the smell and the looks and everything about it. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to take the jump, take that commitment and do it to my OBS. So might as well use this 2500 as a guinea pig and see if I even like the hood stack, and we'll go from there. That's the first thing. It's a fun little mod, you know, even if I decide I don't want it, whatever. After I pull the engine out, I'm probably just going to slap that junker motor back into the truck and try and sell it, and, you know, try and recoup as much of that money from the bad engine as I can. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Turbo. My goals for the 12 valve are 400 to 500. I'm not really dead set on any number. What I want to do is I want to modernize the power of this old 12 valve truck. I know it's been done 100 times before, but I've never done it. So I thought now's as good a time as any, and I'll kind of go over it with everyone. I'm going to do full install videos on all the parts that I get, and I'm really like a newbie when it comes to 12 valves. I did a little bit to my 24 valve. I've fully built this thing from the ground up. I know my way around a wrench and a welder. I can do whatever I need to do in the garage. I rebuilt that engine. I've been in the Honda import game for a very long time, so I'm very confident in my abilities to do whatever I need to do. Like I said, I think 400 to 500 horsepower and around 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, ballpark. Like I said, I'm not going to be like, we're going to the dyno and we're going to make this. No, I don't really care. I want to make the appropriate modifications to say, I know from the mods and from the butt dyno that I should be in the 500, 1,000 range. And I should be able to get there fairly easy. Oh, I also have some ARP head studs coming. And yes, I'm going to bump the timing degrees or so, something like that. I do live in the desert. It gets hot. It doesn't really get too cold. I don't need to worry about plugging in or any of that. But when it comes to turbos, I'm not really sure what I want to do. Will a single turbo get me there? Absolutely. I know that a appropriately sized single will get me to my 400 to 500 goal all day long. But I have this S475 kicking around the garage. And I also have this HX35 that I was going to put on my 24 valve, which had a HY35. So I was thinking I have a couple options. Let me set this down. So I can get a 115 T6 hot side to go on that, because that's a 9688 S475. If I got that hot side and did a HX35 S475 compound kit with all the other fueling mods, I should pretty easily hit my goal, if not be able to exceed that. Like I said, I have both turbos. I have probably all the silicone couplers I need, all the 2.5, 3-inch, 4-inch piping I could shake a stick at. I probably need to buy like a Marmon flange and extra V-bands. So probably on the high end, $200 of material, and I can have a compound setup. I did just buy a factory 3rd gen exhaust manifold. That's going to orientate the turbo. I'm going to flip it, move it forward for the OBS. So it'll fit better in the OBS. And the 2nd gen, you're going to do all the fueling upgrades to it. I'm going to do everything to that 2500. So it's running, driving, good to go. And then once I'm all said and done, I've had some fun with it, did some burnouts, content made, I'll end up yanking it out and putting it in the OBS. There's no guesswork this time whether it runs or not. Or what I'm saying is turbos, I don't know. There's a bunch that'll do it. I could compound it. Compounds are kind of cool. Who doesn't want a crew cab, long bed, 12-valve compound, 5-speed, 4-wheel drive OBS? It's pretty dope. But a single would do it, and it would save me a lot of headache. But it would cost me a little money because I don't have a single. And I guess I could sell it S475. That's kind of a pain in the ass to sell some stuff. And I do have some 191 delivery valves and some 4K governor springs that I had purchased that I'm going to sell if anybody has any 12-valve in need. Hit me up. Cheaper than what I paid for them, and they're brand new. So you guys can let me know. Hit me up on Instagram or leave a comment here. That's probably about it for this video. I just kind of wanted to introduce the 2-wheel drive 2500 2nd gen and kind of explain why it's here, where it came from, what the plans are, and all the Cummins content that is going to be in the future. OBS guys, sorry, it is kind of OBS related because the engine is going in the OBS eventually. But for now, here you guys are going to have to deal with the 12 valve content. And yeah, I also have that right there. That is a Langmuir Systems plasma table, CNC plasma table that I am just about finished with in putting together. I need to put my Hypertherm on there and then get that thing set up and ready to rock, and then I can start doing some extracurriculars. I think I want to design a grill, and I want to design some other small products that I can cut and ship out, and some bumper brackets. People have been hounding me for those. Like I said, a grill, some bumper brackets, and maybe some small other little like OBS Bryce style mods that I will make for sale for the people and try and get some extra cash so I can dump it into the OBS. So I guess that's about it for tonight. And if you guys have any questions, comment on what turbo, or should I do compounds, whatever, leave it below. Thank you guys on 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty tight. I'm excited about that. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything. So later.